Please welcome to the program, Cat Hostick.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. Urban Legend, you directed episodes 6 and 7. They're going to be airing soon on CTV Sci-Fi. They're available right now on Discovery Plus, and yeah, they scared the crap out of me.
Right? Right?
And it's like, again, it's because, and it's like the urban legends, the thing that make them so creepy is that there's always a part of it that is like, well, if this really happened in real life, and this is possibly could happen in real life, that would be the scariest thing ever. Like the kid getting hazed in the shower, in the haunted shower. Like that is the most horrendous scene I've seen. And I know that you yourself, while you were directing that, were also you had an emotional moment as well.
I did, yeah.
So
It was actually after we filmed it, I started crying a little bit. I just like needed a second because it just hits very close to home, you know. There's always hazing in high schools. I know there was in my high school, and that actor just went all the way. It was just really intense. It was yeah. So
yeah,
it's interesting, Kat, because like you're talking about, obviously horror, thrillers, anything along those lines where there's violence and anything that, or a sense of dread and creepiness involved. A lot of times we're talking to actors and, people who watch stuff like Andrew said at the beginning, right? Like it scares the shit out of all of us and we really enjoy that. But like for the crew behind the scenes that are building this world, you
Mhm.
know, do you have the same, like it sounds like you're having the same visceral reaction to what you guys are working on at the same time?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think sometimes there's another episode. No, it was Creep. Sorry, Creep in the Walls. There's
Mm-hmm.
played the creep in the walls. He was literally freaking people out on set, just like walking around at lunch, like, hey, good, this is gonna be good. We cast the right guy. Or yeah, moments like the hazing scene in the shower. Yeah, the crew, we're all in it. You're still listening, and everyone's watching, and it's like, watching a movie, but it's right there, and it feels even more real. And for me, that scene felt like real life horror. That felt really horrifying to me. Maybe one of the more horrifying things I've shot, even though, there's typical jump scares and stuff like that I do that give a good scare. I think that moment to me, it really resonated with me for sure. So
right. And your style as a director, you said that it's very like you don't plan everything out. You get the base roundabout outline what you want, and then once you get on set, you're very open to new ideas that come to you. So
Mhm.
what's like in most recently, what's like what kind of magic kind of has there been a moment that's like suddenly has just appeared to you on set, or somebody's made a good suggestion and you've been like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Oh man. I feel like I can think of so many, but then when you ask me right now in this moment, think of one. Oh man. It's such a good question. There's so many things that happen all the time like that. I really want to give you a specific, but it happens all the time. I used to feel really bad about not going into a project like shot listing everything. Like one of the Justin Harding, one of the directors who does a lot of I think he directed an urban legend episode. Maybe he just did Haunted Museum, which is another one of Eli's shows. But he like does frame forge. He for every single shot, like he has every little thing mapped out. And I just don't do that at all unless it's a very specific scene, or it's like a fight sequence or something with special effects. Sometimes I'll map that out a bit more in detail, but I don't know. I work like that a lot. I walk into a space and I just like talking to the DP, and I like feeling it out with the actors and talking and seeing what they do first and giving them that a creative autonomy, and then kind of see what happens from there, because sometimes my original idea, it's not what I thought it was going to be once all that starts happening. So
And what about the actors, and like do they really open up to this idea? Because I know some actors, they really like to play around in the space and with the script sometimes, but other actors are very rigid and just like to read the lines and follow the plan as it's laid out. Like, have you noticed that your actors really appreciate that kind of openness?
They do. I used to over block actors when I first started directing. And I had a little bit of pushback from that, from, actors who've been doing it for a while. And so I learned quite quickly, not that there's so many directors who do that, but you get so much more out of them when you see what they have to bring to the table, because they're digesting the script, they're digesting material completely different than we are. Like, there's so many things um, that directors miss. It's so weird. And then an actor will find a loophole or an error in logic with the script or the dialogue or a moment that we're filming. They'll be like, wait, but this doesn't make sense because of this, and I just did that. And I'm like, I don't know how the writers miss that. I don't know how I missed that. I don't know like anyone missed that. So after having experiences like that, I really like to just trust them and have conversations with them and let them see what they're going to bring to it first, and then we kind of go from there.
Yeah, well, we got an email in from Evan H, who says, "Hey to the geeks, love Kat's work. Is that her real name?"
It is. Catherine is my real name, but
Yeah, that's what I figured. I figured that's what Cat was short for.
my mom's so disappointed. My mom's like, I gave you a beautiful name, but Cat's more, I don't know, more me, I think.
Cat's to the point. That's what it is.
Is that something you did like as a child? You just went to Cat, or?
I don't even remember. I don't know how that happened. It just happened.
You just always been Cat to yourself. There you go.
Or something. Around that time. Yeah, around that time.
Wow.
So did your mom always call you Catherine?
Actually, you know what? That's not even true. Because my early IMDb credits, I saw this not long ago from when I was 18 or 17 or something. It was referred to as Catherine. But I know I went by Cat in high school, so I have no idea. I don't know. Somewhere.
So, Evan, I hope that answered your question. I think it's brought on more questions for us all, but there you go, including Kat. She's questioning herself right now. Oh my God. But going back to the haunted shower episode, which of course, for people who will see, some people have already seen it. For people who will see it, it takes place college campus. Girl goes to a dorm room shower. She gets possessed by a ghost who's out for revenge. And
it can happen to anybody.
Of course, typical day. It happens as a ghost does. That's what happens there.
College, right?
Yeah, totally. And it's just that the whole episode and the way it ended, especially with kind of like the ghost just kind of there smiling kind of thing, like, made me feel like the whole like message of the episode was kind of like hurt people go on to hurt people.
I mean, that's kind of how I interpreted it, and I wanted that karmic element to it. I think if I can remember correctly, I feel like the ending changed multiple times to the script, and but yeah, I wanted to feel at the end like this entity, it's like, who's next is going to go on to hurt somebody else kind of thing. And then again, I wanted that karmic, thing that if you put bad energy out into the world, it's going to come back to you in some way. Those are the things that I wanted to highlight, especially when working with the writer. That was something that, I wanted to do.
Yeah, no, well, it came through. It definitely did. Now, from what I've heard from like various interviews you've done and everything, is that you're addicted to fear. That you play out a lot of scenarios in your head on a daily basis on how would I get out of this? So like when you go to a restaurant, do you sit down and think, okay, what would I do if a crazy guy with an axe came in here? What if I do if a zombie came in here? What if I came into an angry mob? Is that all those ideas running through your head?
All of the above. I really do. I don't know what is wrong with me. I constantly think of what can go wrong in like super dangerous scenarios and how I would get myself out of them on a daily basis. So I think in that way, that's kind of my approach to it. I think a lot of horror directors grow up as fans of the genre. And while I'm a fan of the genre, it's not like that. It's like I am obsessed or addicted to fear, and so I feel like I can use this medium really well to kind of share that. if you will.
So what you're saying is you're the perfect person to have on the team for a zombie survival crew.
That's
If
right.
if the apocalypse happens,
I've
we
thought of
want you on our team. Yeah, there you go.
Listen, I applaud you, Kat, 100%, because you're the person that becomes the hero, because you're already thinking 15 steps ahead. You're not sitting there, you're not waiting for something to happen and go, oh, I'm going to think about this now. No, you're going, I got plans, I got other plans, I got backup plans, and I got backup plans to my backup plans. I knew I liked you, Kat. I knew like this is just cementing it. Because after watching these 2 episodes, yeah, like Andrews did at the beginning, you really like creeped the fuck out of me completely in both episodes, and that's bravo for you for that. But especially creeping the walls,
Mhm.
Did
I
I
am.
that urban legend is real? Like
Yeah.
actually real? The provenance of that, it's like I think like the real story is even more strange. It's like, yeah, I'll take too long to explain, but you can look it up online.
But yeah, there was a guy hiding in the walls of a house who was convincing the person that he was their dead mother, right? Was that the
Yeah.
What I can say is that for a long time, I always thought it would be really cool to get like some old, like visually creepy looking house, like fix it up and make it, really nice.
No, not now, not even a little bit.
Sorry, I'll correct that. I will say I will do it, but first, not without the full detailed blueprints, X-ray scans, like MRI, like everything. There's no way.
Yeah. That's the thing. I live in an apartment building, but there are sounds in the walls all the time. So watching your episode and hearing the sounds that I usually hear became so much more creepy. I live in fear. That's basically it.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. You want everybody to be addicted to fear like you. That's
I do. I know. I have a squirrel in my attic, but now I'm not so sure. We can't access the attic, but I'm kind of curious,
See, no, you can't burn the house down. It's time to move. Like you got to go. You don't know what it is, right? You don't know what it is. If you think it's a squirrel, it's probably worse.
Probably our actor.
That's what? That's actually a great freaking slogan for like a pest control company. If you think it's a squirrel, it's probably worse.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you get them there real quick.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not a full-size human being, but that's beside the point. I'm
curious. My light fell. Hold on one second. What was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought.
You're curious, you said.
Right. I lost it again. It'll come back to me.
Okay. Fair enough. Now, of course, in your career, you've gotten to work with, both as a director and as an actor, you've gotten to work with some amazing actors. And unfortunately, last year was the passing of a really great actor, Kenneth Welsh. You got to work with him on Campton Manor. And he messed with you on the first day with cue cards and whatnot?
He did. I was so, because usually we get lots of prep time with our actors. I get to have a conversation with them. Not in this case. This movie came together super quickly, and I wanted Kenneth. Like I knew his work, and so anyway, we got him, and I was shooting a scene, and they're like, "Oh, Kenneth is here." I'm like, "Okay, great. I'll go say hi." I go say hi, and he literally just stares at me like this, and I'm like, is he senile? Like, I don't want to be rude, but I went to the AD. I'm like, is he okay? Like, I'm really, I don't know. I was so worried because he had to do like Shakespearean monologues, like so much dialogue. He's such a big part of this film. And I'm like, oh, great. Anyway, so I'm like, I'm sure it's fine. And then a PA comes up to me and he was like, or an AD, they were like, Cat, Kenneth is saying he's not sure if he can remember his lines. Can he have cue cards? I'm like, what? I've never even heard of that. Like, what? And mind you, this is maybe the second film I did or something. I don't know. Like, I was still pretty new at the time. So anyway, I was like, okay, get the guy cue cards. Like, what are we gonna do? What am I gonna say? No, can't say the lines. So I was like, there's no way. He's got to be able to remember. And I just remember walking. We were going to block the scene or something, and I remember on big, what's it called, Bristol board or big
Bristol board, yeah.
This PA is writing out cue cards, these massive letters, and there's like 20 of them. I'm like, this is a joke. Like, this can't be happening right now. This guy's gonna ruin my film. And so I go in, and he like didn't wanna, we did like a blocking, but he had the script and he didn't want to really like rehearse or anything. He's like, let's just go for it. I'm like, okay. Let's see how this goes. And the script supervisor knew the situation. We just looked at each other. I'm like, I don't know, whatever. I like put on the headphones, and this guy delivers the most eloquent, beautiful, like page and a half of like this monologue, and we are literally crying. I was laughing and crying at the same time because it was so beautiful, but I was like, what the hell? And then I was like, I don't know. And then afterwards, I'm like, why'd you say you needed the cue cards? And then he was just like, what'd he say? He was like, under expect, over deliver. He's like, I thought I was retired, or he like said something like that. I'm like, that's messing with me. He's like, you never know. You never know. So I know he was just messing with me for sure.
Yes, Razia, fucking with the director. Good times.
But then after that, it's like the deer in the headlights thing when I first met him, completely gone, complete normal person, hilarious, like the most charismatic, nice guy. So I was just like, okay, he's testing me, or there's something, I don't know what that was. But anyway, that's awesome. Bless his heart.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, that is a great story to have. That's pretty awesome, and a fun way to remember. It is. You know, a great actor who's passed on. Totally. Oh my God. Well, Kat, I want to thank you for coming on the program tonight. It's been great talking with you, and I look forward to people in Canada finally getting to see these 2 episodes, or the whole Urban Legend series. The first 3 episodes have aired in Canada thus far. More episodes are coming at the end of the month. And of course, if you live in the States, you can check it out right now on Discovery Plus. And I'm expecting there's going to be a lot of more stuff coming. And I know that you've got a comedy coming. Polly is the New Monogamy. I know you're working on a documentary. You got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe, right?
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened for sure.
All right, fantastic. Nice. Well, when those things happen, you're more than welcome to come back and talk about them.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Well, thank you, Kat. Have yourself a great night.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Kat.